Hi, my name is Elaine. I'm from Inspired by My Angel, CLM. I'm the owner and creator, and today I'd like to share with you a centerpiece that I'll be doing, something that I've learned in my design class. So let me just go over the materials we're going to be using. We're going to be using this tile, which is about 5 to 6 inches. We're going to be using this as our base. So I'll be attaching on the opposite, I'll use the smooth side down. I'll be attaching floral foam and then covering this in moss. I'm going to be using these Peonies and this pick, which has some greenery. Also, these white berries and this greenery. This design can be it's going to have the tile, so it can be placed directly on a side table when it's completed, on a mantle, dining room table, wherever you would have it. But also the design is such that it can be elevated, so placed on any riser of your choice. I happen to have a metal box that, just to show you how this will, in the end, we'll be able to raise that up and use that as a riser. Candlestick, a chunky candlestick would work well. But anyway, we'll do the arrangement. And the first thing I need to do is adhere some floral foam to my tile. So in order to do that, I need to apply some glue to my tile. So I'm just going to use a cut off stem and place it in my skillet. This is an electric skillet that you would use in your kitchen. And I'm just going to place some of my hot glue onto my tile so that my foam will adhere. You want to get quite a good amount on there. Let me switch. That one I had a pipe cleaner on the end. Okay. So you can see I've got quite a bit of glue on that. And now I'm just going to take that rough side down and place it on the foam. I pre-cut the foam to a little larger than what our floral foam is. Okay, so now we have that adhered. So we've got a nice smooth bottom for that to rest on. Next, we'll take some floral moss, Spanish moss. I'll get some floral pins. And floral pins are just, or they call them U pins. It's just a pin that's the shape of a U to hold our Spanish moss. I don't want to glue the Spanish moss. I just want to pin it. So I want to go around the sides and cover our foam. And I'm going to use the U-hooks to hold that in place. Just grabbing a pretty good chunk. It's lying it on there. We're going to go all around our base. with this. This was done in design school, and I just want a little more practice with doing arrangements. So I thought it would be something that you might find interesting, and I would share that with you. And this could be done with whatever florals you were to choose. While I'm doing this, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. As I said in the beginning, my name is Elaine. I'm owner and creator at Inspired by My Angel, CLM. My journey with floral arranging and wreath making began in September of 2020. I was working part-time in a ladies' clothing boutique, and when the COVID hit last March with the mandatory shutdowns, I was laid off to be called back later in May. Business still wasn't where it should be, and so unfortunately the owner had to close the shop, and that happened in August of 2020. So I found myself without a job, and enjoy working. And my thought was, what am I going to do with myself? So being that it was August, a little housework first, catching up. Then it was, oh, maybe I should put my wreath up for the fall. It wasn't looking too good. I had used it a couple of years. So I thought, oh, I'd like to get a new wreath for the door. That led me wanting to be a little more conservative with my finances. That led me to YouTube, where you'll be watching this video now. Oops, that pin came up. Found many talented designers who were willing to share their knowledge. After watching many videos, finding different designers and watching what they were doing, I headed to the craft store, bought my supplies, made myself a wreath. Came out quite nice. But the most impressive part of that is, while I was creating that wreath, I found my joy. I cannot tell you how much I enjoyed the whole process. That led me to become very passionate about designing with florals, eager to learn. So this is where my journey is. I am new at this, and I just thought how nice it was that these designers had shared with me. And so what my thought was, what if I shared from the perspective of someone just starting, and share that with others who maybe are considering starting. So that's what I'm doing. That's why I'm here today, and why I'm creating and sharing. As of October, I had joined a design class online, thoroughly enjoying it. By November, I had found another designer who offered classes online, and I signed up for that program as well. So this is one of the projects that we did in our design class, and this is the one that I'm sharing with you. So what we've done is we've attached our foam to our base. I've gone ahead and covered it with our moss, and now we'll start working on our design. Okay. So the first thing that I want to do is use this one. I'm just going to shape it a little bit. These two were together like this. So I cut the larger one off, and I'm going to use this one for my height. And I just need to make this stem a little bit shorter. And it's pretty thick. There we go. So I'm just using my cutters, and I've cut that to about 2 inches. Okay, and the way that I was shown to do this particular design, which you could do in all, like I said, many different florals, colors. This just so happens I'm using this soft pink peonies, but it could certainly be a recipe, if you would, to make many other designs. So the way that it works is it's kind of done from corner to corner. So this first tall piece, I'm going to dip it in my glue, get my glue a little warmer, a little meltier, put some glue on, and I'm going to go to that far corner and insert my stem, just pushing it down. This is going to give us our height. I've got a little pool of glue, if you can see it, right at the base. So I'm just going to take a little bit of Spanish moss, put that there while the glue is still warm, and cover that. So we have our first piece in. Now we're going to take the larger bloom that was on that, give it a little bend, and that's going to come off the opposite corner. Okay, we want it close, but we don't want it touching. You can see it looks like it's right next to it, but I'm actually probably 2.5 inches away from our first stem that we inserted. And what I'm going to do with this, rather than put it into the foam, is I'm just going to use my U-hook, apply some glue, and attach that to the foam. Just going to use my scissor to push that down. That glue is hot. We'll put another one just to make it nice and secure. A little bit of glue. Push it down. And just a little tiny bit of moss. I just pull the moss off, roll it in a ball, and place it on the damp glue. Okay. So now we've got our large focal flower, and it's coming off the corner here with the pretty leaf. And one thing I have learned in design class is to create triangles. So now I have my other piece. This makes it very easy when you buy a pick that has various greeneries, berries. I've already cut that down to about 3 inches, and I'm just going to bend. Let me see if I can do this. I'm just going to bend that edge. I'll show you. See what I've done? I've created it like that. So now what I'm going to do is we've got one floral here, one here. So if we place this one, we now have our triangle. So this one is going to go right in here. Putting a little glue. And I'm going to push that down into the foam and give this a little bit of a bend. And we've got that sweeping out to the side, like so. You can see that. Here's our triangle. So we've got our main focal flowers in place. Just turn our leaves so the right sides are showing. Just bend this one up, bring it around. Okay, so that's looking pretty already. So now the next thing that we'll do is add some of our filler, which is this white berry. Kind of spiky, a lot of movement. And that's the thing with doing the centerpieces or florals, even on your wreaths. You want to create interest and movement. Okay, these are hand wrapped in paper, so I can just pull. You can see where it divides. I'm just going to pull one off. So I've got one. Just take your time looking at it where you would be dividing. So this is another section. I'm just going to tear that off. So there's 2. 3, 4, and this one looks like it can be divided in half. Let's see. 6. And then this one being our taller. So let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be 6. And I'm just going to check the length on these, the height. And these all look to be about the same. So let's see. I'm going to divide this in half here. Okay, I'm just going to take some of that paper off. This seems to be a little bit longer, which is good. That's what I want. And I'm going to trim that to about 1.5 inches. And what we're going to do is place our glue. And I'm going to come over right next to this tall one in the corner. And I'm going to place our grass there. creating a little bit of height, but yet it's below our highest point, because that's what we want to accomplish, is a graduating. Okay, and this is our other one. We just trim this. It's like my hands don't want to work. I need to use two hands. I'm a weakling. Okay, if I bend that, I can get it. Okay, so now we have our other section. I'm going to dip that in the glue. We're going to come on the other side of our tall piece, right up close to it. We're going to insert that. Okay. Okay, so now we'll start to take our other pieces. I'm just going to clean a little bit of the paper that's at the end of this. Snip that a little shorter. And then what I'm going to do is come down next to and behind our large focal flower. But instead of placing this upward, we're going to have this come out. Get that in. And then I'm going to just bend that down. Whoops. I didn't get a good insertion there. Let me try that again. There, that's better. So you can see that's coming out on this side, creating our line. Trim this one down a little bit. And I'm going to come right on the other side of our large flower. Just move the greenery out of the way. Put that in and have it coming out like that. So you can see we've got our tallest here, and we're gradually coming down. Okay. These peonies are very pretty. Okay, we've got another piece. Let's come on the side of our other one. We'll be forming triangles, multiple triangles throughout. Again, apply some glue. I'm going to come in right next to it and insert my berries. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 5 in so far. I need to have one come right out the center on the other side of our flower. So let's have one come out here. Just moving our leaves out of the way. Whoops, that one doesn't want to go. I think I need to trim that a little bit. Okay, try that again. Move my floral. Put my berries in. You can see that it's really coming together well. Okay, we've got another. I'm going to bring that right here towards the front. Let that come off this way. We trim it a little. Making good contact with the foam. And this is what we have so far. It's coming together quickly. Very pretty. Okay, now we need to add some of our greenery. We just clean up a little here. I'd like to take this time to ask you, you're watching this on YouTube, if you would subscribe to my channel. You'd get notified when I put new videos up if you'd like to come on this floral arranging, wreath making journey with me. Give me a comment below. Let me know how I'm doing, if you're understanding what I'm saying, if I'm making myself clear. That will help me in the future for doing other videos. It's all a learning process. For me, I've never done videos before. I've never made a wreath before. And I'm hoping that if there's some of you out there that have not either, that seeing what I'm able to do in this short amount of time will inspire you to do the same. And hopefully experience joy as I have in creating. And I think I'm older, retired, pretty well past retirement age by a few years. And I think too what I'm enjoying is learning again. I think that's part of it as well. That gives me joy to be able to be learning something new. Okay, so I'm going to cut up some of my greenery now. Remember, we don't want it to be taller than what we have. We want to start graduating down. But I'm going to come in the back here. That'll work. So I'm going to come on that side of our tall floral that we placed. And I'm going to insert my greenery. Yeah, that's keeping our line. Can you see that? So we place one piece there. I want to come and do the same thing on the other side. Give it a little bend. Come back in and bend this a little. So I'm going to turn this and I'm going to come on the other side like we did over here. Get that in there. Just mix some of this together. So now we have a piece coming. We have our tall, we've got our berries, and then we're coming down another level, like we're stair-stepping down. Okay. We've kind of got a line going in this direction. You know, with this coming off the side here. Bring some of those berries down a little, just bend that a little bit. So I think, let's see, for the greenery. We've got our two there. I'm thinking we should come in between our berries here. So in between the berries and the two focal flowers that we have so far, we give that a little bend. That looks nice. I have a Lazy Susan here. I should put this on, and then I can turn it. Okay. That's looking really pretty. Like I said, I think we need a little bit here between our two florals, which they call that breaking the plane. So we've got the berry, and then just to keep some division between our florals, I'm going to cut another one. But I don't think we need the whole thing, so I'm going to divide it. In half, and we'll get a couple of pieces out of that. So let's see. Yeah, I think that would look good coming up there. It doesn't need to be super long. I'm just going to trim that a little shorter. Put some glue, and we'll go right between our florals and next to, and bringing it in a downward motion. That looks nice. So we've got our height, we're coming out, we're coming over this way. So I'm thinking one more piece over here to keep this line going. So I think on the other corner here, I just want to extend that. Letting it bend a little. We haven't gone beyond our berries. We're staying shorter. That's nice. Okay, so we've got a piece coming out here. Looks like we need something here in the back. Want to make sure we've got everything covered as best we can. Oh, I think this is coming out so pretty. It's full. You can see in the back here, I'm going to try to show that to you. Let me just see if I can get that in the camera. See right here? I need to get some greenery in to cover that area. So I think what I'll do is cut this stem. And we'll cut these into shorter pieces. That'll give us some coverage at the base. Okay, so I've cut that into 4 pieces. This one being the larger. So let me just see. I think we need to come in here. So it's not a two-sided, but it will still look very pretty from this back side as well. There, that covered that in nice. Place another one. Oh yeah. I think I could even cut this one again. Just putting the smaller pieces to cover that space that we had in the back, and I want them nice and close to the foam, the floral foam, to cover it. That's pretty. Okay, I think I'll show you. Here it is. I think right back here. I don't think you can see that well, but anyway, trust me, there's a little hole here. So I'm going to go in with a little more greenery there. Pushing that into the foam. That looks good. And our last piece here on the corner. Making sure to move your leaves out of the way. There. Oh, that looks so pretty. That didn't take any time at all. I thought it was going to take a lot longer to create this. But by having the a pick and then a larger with the greenery on it, it goes a lot quicker. Just bring some of these berries here in between these two. Just move things around until it's pleasing to the eye. I like that. A little more mixed in. Bring this one a little forward. Same with this one. I'm just going to bend this. Bring it over this way, some of it a little bit. So we get a nice even disbursement. Oh, that came out nice. I'll go back in. If I see any spots where I can see the foam, I will cover that over. But let me hold it here for you to see what we've got. It's beautiful. This would look so pretty, like I said, on a chunky candlestick, so it would be raised up in the air. I'm just going to place it on top of this peach tin box that I have. So now the flowers can drape, but even if it was used with just the tile alone on the side table, the flowers will just drape on the table. So this is a nice centerpiece, can be used wherever. In your dining room. You just move this fern, give it a little bit of movement. In the bedroom. In your living room on the side table. On a bookcase. Many different applications. So we did it. We created a beautiful peony centerpiece. I hope you enjoyed it, this video. I hope you could understand and see what I was doing We had one spray and one larger spray that we cut in half, took the taller, found our line for our height, took the larger that had a little bit of fern on it and placed that opposite in the front corner. We took our other piece, the small spray that had the flower, and we placed that, creating a triangle. We came back, placed our berries, and then came in and added our greenery. And that's it. Well, I want to thank you so much for watching. I hope I've inspired you to try to make a centerpiece. If it's not something that you feel you would enjoy doing, but you just like watching, this will be in my Etsy shop, Inspired by My Angel, CLM. It will be just on the tile itself, but I will also list the tin if it's something that you wanted to purchase. It goes very nicely with the peony. So this will be in my Etsy shop within the next day or two. I need to take photos and touch up any areas that I feel need a little bit more moss. And while you're there at my shop, I would appreciate it if you'd like and favorite the shop. That will help me as a small business just starting out. Help me become more visible in Etsy with the algorithm. That would be very much appreciated. And like I said, this is a journey and that I would like to share with others. I hope that you enjoyed this and you'll come back and you'll watch another video with me. I do have several videos out already. Just go to Inspired by My Angel, CLM, and you'll see the other videos that I've done. I have done a couple of other centerpieces, wreaths. So check those out. Like I said, feel free to comment. I would enjoy the feedback, truly. If there's something that you feel I could do better, just let me know and I'll try to work on that. So for today, I'm going to say goodbye and thank you so much for joining me today. Bye now.